even though it's a bit faster, but I don't really mind not being in like world record contention. Despite how much I've speedrun this game, I'm okay with not being in the top spot. In fact, I think there's only, I think it's just Mad Father is the only game that I don't play in English. As far as I can remember, like off top of my head. That's better. Numilix, well done on those Sandman runs the other day. Those were cool. I've never played that game before, so it was cool to see how that game looks. What an odd game. Probably a 120. Ah, okay. I saw that, on the Discord, I saw that Tegron has world record now by like a considerable margin. Like a good few minutes. Only thing is, it's such a long game that like learning the route already when I was watching, I'm sure I mentioned that the route looks really difficult to remember, so the route on top of like dealing with items and stuff like that in Chinese sounds super difficult. It's the same with me and Crooked Man. Like, I'm sure that Crooked Man's faster if you don't play it in English, but I struggle with the items. Like, enough, basically. Right, it's up here. I should have known that. I'm looking at a guide that tells you where all the paintings are as well, like at the side. I didn't read the thing. That was bad. Yeah, the thing you need to talk to the aunt in the Chinese versions, that's like one of the only instances I think of... In fact no, I tell a lie. I was going to say it's like one of the only instances of English being faster, but there's a... The part where Gary and Eve split up, you need to put in the portrait name. In Chinese you have to actually like type the name in. Whereas in English you just click... Like it gives you like 3 options and you just click the correct one. So that's faster, but you save so much time in like text and stuff like that. This is not what I would call a good Eve speedrun. But there's been worse. We've done worse. Get a fright. Goddamn fucking guillotine every time. That mole. Ideally, I'm hoping to do a painting's Demise today, and probably World of Gertena. I don't know how you pronounce that. Pronunciation's not my strong point. So hopefully do them today. Alright dude, no worries, take it easy. Hope all goes well for you. That's a super slow split. Ouch. Nah, it doesn't sound great. Nah, I should definitely go and get that checked out. Hopefully it comes back okay. Hopefully nothing too major. Here we go, boys. Fucking Monka S. That was good. That was actually pretty decent. Not bad at all. That was perfect. Yep, it was pretty damn good, must be said. Oops. And then I do a movement like that, and then it's wasted. It's gone. Still though, that was a very good maze. Oh yeah, 100%. There's been so many runs that I've lost to the maze. It was actually the maze itself that put me off running this game for a while. As I mentioned earlier, I learned the game like last year, but I only started running it relatively seriously or competitively within the last like month maybe, and it was because the maze put me off so much. The maze is like super rough. Just if the game decides that you're not getting through it, then that's you. Oops. Is the game luck based at some parts? Like in general, no. In fact, now that I think about it, it might just be the maze. I would have to think about that. Nah, come on. 1 health. Jeez. Like things like that, like the way that the enemies move and stuff, you don't get to control. Yep, exactly that. And the fact I've only got 1 health puts me in a pretty bad spot in the next area, where there's a lot of like random enemy movement. And now I need to hope that they don't do anything too bad, because I don't have enough health to come back from it. We're going to be over 10 minutes by the time that this split's done, which is not great. Right here. Right, okay, okay. Push the shelf, how do you mean? You can do that? Well, today I learned. I literally didn't even know you could do that. Like, that's literally the first I've ever heard of that. Damn. even now that I know that, I'm still not sure that I would do it. I mean, it probably doesn't lose any time, but if you stand behind that chair that I stood behind, it gives you a... like, it puts something between you and the enemy, so the enemy can't really get to you. Still though, that's pretty cool. I don't think it would lose any time, because it's like a set amount of time before the yellow guy comes through anyway, so... It probably doesn't lose any time, it just doesn't make too much of a difference, I would think. I'll actually try it in the next run. If this run goes bad, or if I complete this and then we start doing WOG runs, then I'll try that. We'll see what happens. Yeah, man. If only this game had some way to like auto skip text, like the way the games that Mad Father and Misao have. Here comes best girl. Oh! Right, we're taking a chance here. The part there where you can stay silent or say "Are you okay?" has actual ramifications for the next ending that I would be doing. And as far as people are aware, if you don't pick it you can't get this ending either, but last time when I streamed the practice attempts at this, I didn't press it and still managed to get the correct ending by just doing everything else that you're supposed to do. So, I'm hoping that that's the case here, because it would save you like an input. Like you wouldn't have to press down then X, you can just press X. Which is like super minor, it wouldn't even save you like a second, but just any opportunity to make time for free. There we go. Not the quickest I've done that. By like an absolute landslide. I tell you, Lemmy has the best emotes. Took me so long to learn all the menuing for just that room specifically. There's so much random text boxes, or so many random text boxes I should say. It's actually not a very cute painting at all, must be said. I don't agree with their statement. The emotes are relatable, big time. Oh, that's cool, no worries. The fortunate thing about both these endings is that you don't have to complete the doll room for either of them. Which is very good because they added so much randomization to the doll room in this like version of the game. There we go. Yeah, I think we want to kick the doll here as well. I'm sure you have to just do everything that causes a quote-unquote doom point for Gary. Volume warning. Just this room's a bit louder than the rest of them. Oops. That was rapid. Speedrunning in a nutshell. Unless it's me playing. In which case everything's just... that was at moderate pace. Did that fucking doll? I'm sure that's random, like it just pops up sometimes that fucking gives me a fright every time. Aye he. Classic. Right, all going well. We fail this room. Come on, guy. Oh shit, I forgot it doesn't do it automatically, you have to like walk into the door. Unfortunate. Sure this is the layout that has the key here? Well, that's obviously wrong. Does not matter. Does not matter. We have to fail it anyway, so... Nope, that was the key there. Okay. F's in the chat for Gary. Thank you very much, guys. Big respect. I appreciate that. Right, all going well, and it might not go well. It very rarely does. Oops. We should be locked into the APD ending now. Eve should choose to stay here, and then Mary will go on alone. We'll see. It's a nice raccoon. It is. It is. Big raccoons in the chat. Right, this is looking promising. Okie doke. Right, so this is APD, which is good. That's what we wanted. Probably not going to be a particularly great APD run. The world record's 23:17. Damn, I don't think we're going to get close to that. I think if I get under 24 minutes, I'll be surprised. I'm like particularly confident that we're going to get a 24-minute run. I'm sure it'll be a low 24, like somewhere between 24 and 24:20, I would say. Like in the lower end of the 24-minute range, but probably still a 24 run. Right, so we're a minute off the record now, and like we've still got the whole fade and stuff like that to do. So we are 100% not getting record, but it's fine because I expected that anyway. And now we just sort of linger here. Just sort of mashing the Z button to skip text, because that pops up somewhat randomly. You can see the screen starting to get a bit darker. I don't want to look, I know, it's actually a shame, all considered. It's the thing about this game, there's no characters that I genuinely dislike. Like every character's quite likeable in their own way. We'll stand at reception. Greet people as they come in. We might actually get under 24. It's looking optimistic. Actually, it's looking less optimistic because I'm looking at the time again. $24.09. Pretty much in the middle of the range that I was thinking. Okay.